Welcome back, y'all, to Built by the Red Stick, man. It's your boy, Ronnie, Michael, special guest this week. Remember, like, share, comment on the post. We're trying to grow this thing as fast as possible. Shout out Elevate Treatment and Legacy Center for bringing us to y'all. Yeah. Yeah. Look at the new shirts.
Hey.
New shirts.
New shirts. Boy, they better stop.
Better stop.
Mama said there be days like this. There be days.
We got the GOAT with us today. Ronnie, who we got with us? Who we got with us?
Man, we got the one, the only Corey Woodson, a.k.a. Seawood, but that's the fantasy. You don't know nothing about that.
You're doing the most right now.
Corey fucking Woodson, ladies and gentlemen. We got to give a Built by the Red Stick hand clap for Corey Wilson in the building.
Did you say Wilson?
I said Woodson. My lips just big, so my words don't come out straight. We're not doing this thing right now. We ended racism like previous episodes. You know what I mean? So we are fully inclusive, never exclusive. Corey Woodson, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome. We appreciate you joining us. We're just gonna chat, talk shit, see where our big thing is where'd we come from, but kind of the things that brought us to where we're at today, why we have the drive we have. I know you. Ronnie knows you.
I've gotten to know him very well.
Yeah,
great guy.
He's he's at Elevate. If anybody wants to come see him,
Yeah. I actually took a poll before this episode, and a lot of people want to know what's your stance on feet.
What's my stance on feet?
Feet.
I'm not a feet guy.
Oh man, get out. Get out.
I know. I just gotta
When
get out.
Rotail dip off the toes, nothing.
what are we doing?
That's what the audience wanted to know, bro. That's what they wanted to know, your stance on
A
feet.
feet guy.
Yes.
I gotta set the record straight.
We advertised Corey Woodson coming on next episode. Does he like feet?
Do we like feet? That was
Man, I'm gonna tank the views on this one because they don't do it for me.
So I take it you under 33.
34.
Oh, you gonna store 11 feet at 35.
He's a liar.
Start loving
He's a
feet.
liar. I don't like that. So where are you from? Kind of how'd you find your way down here to Baton Rouge? What's a little bit about your background and everything? Yeah.
34 from a little town called DeVille, Louisiana.
DeVille.
DeVille.
Yes, Lord.
You know anything about DeVille?
Donaldsonville?
Not
No,
that
no.
Ville. No, we talking
Scotlandville.
about the up Northville, like outside of
No,
Marksville.
it's really called DeVille.
DeVille.
Like DEVILLE.
I'm lost.
Or you could pass through it, not even realize you was ever in it.
So is it one of them cities or towns where like the judge is also the dentist, the lawyer?
Yeah, you
and
ain't got a judge. You got to
and
go to Alexandria for that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You got to go to Pineville for that.
I'm sorry.
No,
Tell us about the Ville. I never heard of the Ville.
You ain't missing nothing. Nah, it
Well,
was,
they produced you, so I'm sure you wasn't an anomaly.
yeah, it was a cool town. Like I had a bunch of friends, usual stuff. But as far as what got me to Baton Rouge, a little bit of addiction, a little bit of a geographical change, options that ran thin in DeVille. Counselor suggested something new, even with no options. I was like, screw that. I'm gonna go where? Sober living. Nah.
Yo, what is that? Bunch of guys trying to get their life together. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Ended up in Baton Rouge, haven't left. So, as far as coming to Baton Rouge, I don't think I could have planned or expected or predicted anything that's transpired since. A lot of things that were of no interest to me have been all the things that my life consists of today.
See what happens when you take a big fish out of a little pond, comes even bigger fish.
Yeah, you already bagged them. You ain't got to keep hitting them with them
I gotta
lines.
keep
You
'em,
already
bro.
got them.
I gotta keep 'em,
and
son.
we'll get to that later because I'm sure when you hear Corey Woodson, you think this place. But in this situation, that's not the case. Wordplay.
Ooh,
Wordplay.
wordplay, bars.
So, dude, one of my favorite things about hanging out with you is the stories of your past. Because some of them just crack, they kill me.
Mine is the feet, though. Is you really a story without feet?
Dude.
But go ahead. I'm listening.
Dude,
I'm listening.
So what? I mean, obviously, growing up in a small town, finding addiction. I mean, what do you feel like? What? Not like, oh, I was lost and everything, but like, what were some of the contributing things that led you to the lifestyle that you chose to live for that period of time in your life?
Man, I think I've always had a mind that was, discontent with the way I feel. So anybody who looked like they felt different than normal interests me. Like I remember my dad, they would have friends over, they would get together, so they'd be drinking, and he'd be like sipping on his beer, trying not to get there. And I would see some of his friends who were there, and I'm like, man, they're doing it right.
Yeah.
And like that was 5, 6, 7 years old, and neither one of my parents are alcoholics. They're both normal, casual drinkers. I don't even think they drink anymore. I think when I got sober, they just quit. They were like, oh,
that sounds miserable. But
and so I don't know. I think it was. I know some people grow into this inability to control it. I don't think I could control it from the jump. I remember riding through town and, seeing somebody whose head was here and jaw was in Texas, and they were out of their box. And I looked at him and I was like, there's a reason. There's a reason they've let it get to this point, because it must have been that good. And I don't think normal people I found out.
Fucked around and found out, right? Yeah. Like they say.
No, absolutely.
And I don't think he found addiction. I think addiction found you, right?
Oh,
yeah, okay.
No, it was like it was absolutely a internal thing where, just trying to find something to put me in a position to feel okay in my own skin. I got a theory that a lot of people, get messed up, and a lot of people are already messed up, and they looking to get right.
Yeah.
I was trying to get right.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way, So
like it.
And I know that, like, the crazy thing is, like, you found not necessarily success, but you had moments of, like, I guess the financial was like okay and stuff while you was ripping and running.
So I would manage. I would be able to manage for a period of time, but I'd always inevitably just blow it up again. Yeah. And it was always
smart dude.
Well, it was always this pressure to keep up a facade.
Yeah.
Like, I think the best way I could have described me prior to getting sober, and this is no offense to anybody, I was a used car salesman. You know what I mean? I have something to sell you. It might not be very valuable, but I'm going to do my best to make you believe it's going to add value to your life. And
that explains why your fantasy trades be so shits. You was a used car salesman. I get it now. I'm sorry. Go ahead. It
Y'all
makes
in
sense.
a fantasy football league together?
Yeah, you are too.
I know.
I told him at least let me look you in your eyes before you fuck me. He tried to give me Tua for Tyreek.
No, dude.
Bro, you're talking about a 25-year-old quarterback for a 32-year-old receiver.
A 25-year-old quarterback with the brain of a 50-year-old.
Bro. He made it through last year.
Dude,
barely.
Let that man live.
Dude called me at 7-something this morning. He's like, "What's up, bro?" And I was like, "Oh man, just chilling. You hitting the gym today?" Yeah. Oh hell yeah. So what about Blake Corum?
Straight to the point. At least you got that. I get a text, "Hey, I sent you something on Sleeper." All right, bro, let me go check it out. Tua for Tyreek Hill, straight up.
Hey, I looked at your roster. You need a quarterback, bro.
I need two quarterbacks.
I was looking out for the fan, bro. That's all I was doing.
And then Desmond Ridder got cut.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't have expected much out of him anyway.
So big sports fan, obviously. You grew up playing sports.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? I think y'all have something in common. Y'all played baseball, huh? That was
Baseball was my go-to.
Ronnie wasn't good.
Well, I was good. My scoliosis wasn't good.
Your scoliosis wasn't good?
I got scoliosis. It stripped me from the b-ball.
Right.
Yeah, I caught scoliosis. According to him, I caught scoliosis. It's like an STD.
Brian,
I'm just out here giving out scoliosis.
I'm any guy that can claim to be good up until a certain point where the other interests won out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once I started to dabble and realize if I mix this with this, and I remember I tore my wrist up my senior year of high school, and I was pissed because I love baseball, but at the same time, the back of my mind was like, we ain't got to worry about a drug test now. That's great. That's beautiful.
And then I tore my wrist, so I get up on the pain pills right now.
I wasn't even interested in them at the time.
Okay.
They were my thing.
Your main thing was
became
drinking.
my thing.
Your main thing was drinking.
Always was. That was always what I would. The baseline. I would take a sip of alcohol, and drugs just had a tendency to show up.
Gotta love it when you find that good old piece of heroin at the bottom of every bottle.
Facts.
So you moved down to Baton Rouge. You got sober.
December 26, 2013.
God damn.
That's a decade. It's more than a decade. You're coming up on 11 years this year?
Yeah, 11 years this year.
You got sober in your 20s?
23. Whew.
You missed a lot. That's why you don't like feet. Because you missed that stage where you get addicted.
Dude, I didn't get sober at 23, and I don't like feet.
You love feet. I promise you, I'm going to have you talking about feet at least 3 episodes. You're going to be talking about feet.
Right.
How they feel. Straight off of work.
So you got sober in 2013.
Right.
Found your way into the recovery industry and everything. And been making big moves there.
Big name for himself too. I heard about when I first got sore. It's Corey Woodson. Other people too, but I ain't gonna say their name. Corey Woodson.
Yeah, I mean,
I gotta meet this dude.
A good personality with a good message will do that. Though.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, how long you been working in recovery?
So I've been working in recovery since 2014. Was one of the original staff to get Serenity when Serenity opened.
Okay.
And then I had an opportunity to go to Woodlake, went to Woodlake, and stayed there for, 7-8 years, had to have been.
Shout out Randall, that's my girl. I rock with Randall and Haley.
Randall's
I love them. Yeah.
Never planned any of it. I remember I was telling myself, man, I got to make some money. And
Let me go be a counselor.
no. So I was putting in applications, and I was putting in an application at Noble Drilling because I had a new money-making scheme. We were going to go offshore, and I was going to work for a month, and I'm going to come home, and I'm going to be sober and do my sober thing for a month because I was coming up, I really only had probably 6 months at this time. And, I put in that application, and I had a guy, and he was like, man, don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of you. So I was like, oh, cool. This is an awesome opportunity. And then that Sunday, Kevin was owning the sober living house I was in, and he was part of that initial group of the 3 owners that opened Serenity. And he was like, hey, I'm starting a treatment center. You're doing really well. I want to make you one of my techs. And I was like, no. And I was like, man, I really appreciate that, but absolutely not. And then I just couldn't stop thinking about it for a couple of days. And I thought about it for a couple of days, and finally I was like, let's do it. And then it's crazy because the job took longer than I would have expected, so I would have been waiting for quite a while, but it finally came through for Noble Drilling, and the guy calls me, and it wasn't not a long time after that, oil field crashed.
Ooh, the BP spill? No, you say crash.
Yeah,
BP spill was
that was 2014, 15.
Okay.
I forgot what exactly was the reason, but I remember looking at that event and saying, okay, maybe God's working to do something. Maybe, and I don't remember the specifics of it. Like I said, it was 10 years ago, but I remember feeling okay, maybe I'm on the right path. Maybe he is looking out for me.
Step 3.
And so, started doing that, and I absolutely hated treatment centers. I hated counselors in treatment centers. There's nothing more obnoxious that I've ever experienced in my life, and God's got jokes.
And now you get to make people feel that way about you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. I ain't heard that much bad stuff. For $20, I'll tell you what I heard, though.
We'll talk.
And so you get in there now. Where? Because I mean now you're with you came to Elevate. You run a group there. Recently opened some sober livings. I've always known you, not even just on the sober living aspect, but you have a collectibles business, I guess would be the best way to describe that aspect, right?
Yeah, it's Rated Rouge Collectibles. We do high-end card grading. I used to do a lot of breaks and all that, but with more children, less time. And so my bread and butter right now with that is cleaning and submitting people's cards to get graded, giving them a little bit of direction on what I would grade, what I wouldn't
consulting.
grade. Yeah, a lot of consulting.
I can't believe it's a market for that. It's a market for everything.
Oh, dude. I mean, you got to think about it, though. Our generation who grew up collecting
Pokemon and
well, not even that. I mean, sports cards, the old, and then now we're old enough to buy them, and so the card collecting is always in a cycle. Once the demographic that they're popular in gets old enough, it's nostalgia, and so they want to start it back up, create collections for their kids, and then now with the publicity of sports and how wide it is, I mean, it's big business actually.
Yeah, no. So most people around our age range, in the late 80s, early 90s, around that range. And so I've had so many people, I don't even mention it to people outside of y'all,
right.
Because the second I mention it, The second somebody calls me and says, "Hey man, I want you to look at my childhood collection. It's got to be worth millions." It's. I'm like, okay, what years would you say it's from? And they're like 1988 to 1992, and I'm like, ooh, junk wax era. And they're like, what does that mean? They're like, it can't be junk. I got a Ken Griffey. I was like, everybody got a Ken Griffey, bro. Everybody got that same
millions.
card. He said, man, I got on Google, and it is worth $30,000. People can list things for whatever they want. Go check the sold list.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That baby was $6.
It's the
sold.
same with shoes. Like you could list the shoe for 10,000, but the last sale was 900. So yeah.
No, and that's a lot of during COVID, a lot of people who were already in the shoe game and the hustle with that switched over to sports because it was so easy to buy a box on release day, and a month later it's worth $200 more.
Yeah.
And that's the more high-end hobby box, but y'all get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So.
And like one of the cool things we like to talk about is, of course, everybody at this table and most people that we associate with has overcome some type of struggle, and we talk about it a lot. And when people get sober, of course, like originally it's like, okay, I just got to get sober. And you being in the industry for so long, Ronnie being in it, myself, you see a lot of people who get sober, they maybe make that year mark, and then they're like, what now? Because their whole focus has been I'm not going to use drugs.
Yep.
So, like, what do you find was, like, the drive for you to want to achieve more than just getting off drugs? Because I like I said, I mean, we work together. We've known each other. Like, backstory, me and Corey met in 2013. I was sober. We got sober around the same time. I relapsed. I didn't stay sober.
Hey, she was cute though.
Dick.
What a feet look like.
And so then, like, I ended up going back out, and then I came back, and he was running the sober living house, and he I moved in, and he was the house leader, and so like we've known each other for a long time, and like I know the things that like you've grown in your life, like with like having a family now, wife and two beautiful little girls, a new one actually, which can be a headache.
I got 6, so I don't have no sympathy for people with 6 or less, with 5 or less.
6 or less.
I only got 2.
And counting.
No, not in counting.
Still young.
Not in counting.
Them things still swimming.
So what do you attribute to that drive, like that want to do? Our tagline at Elevate is do more than recover, leave a legacy, and I think that's why we bond so well. Me and Ronnie bond so well. We want to do more.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So.
Oh, we ask real questions on here. Yeah, don't get stumped. Nah, yeah.
That's what I was talking to my wife earlier. She's like, what are y'all going to talk about? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a real question.
She's like, what do you mean you don't know? And I was like, I didn't ask. They didn't tell. I'm just showing up.
Hate to tell you, we don't know half the time we get here.
I take that approach to most of my life. Like, I've been winging it for a long time.
Yeah.
I'll say this, like, my daughters wake me up at 5, even whenever they don't wake me up at 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that would be like the current motivation. Prior to that though, I don't know, man. I think some people just got like this really, like this big fire just to like prove themselves, and I don't know why. At some point, I just really felt like I needed to prove myself, and it's probably unhealthy, and it's probably something. As a counselor, I can say it's trauma related or some incidents in my life. I don't know.
Welcome to Elevate, a place for people like you, built by people just like you.
We're committed to helping all elevate from the destruction of addiction.
I hope I would give somebody who's either new in recovery or that's currently struggling with addictions, today can be the last day that you struggle, the last day that you wonder how you're going to have to chase down that drink, that fix, whatever the case may be for you.
At Elevate, we embody more than treatment. It's about passion, love, understanding, truly being your partner on your path to recovery.
Our staff treats substance abuse and co-occurring mental health disorders with a multidisciplinary approach to best fit our clients' needs. We all just embrace each other. We genuinely care, check up on each other, and it's not an act. You matter. You're more than what you've allowed yourself to assume you were.
When perseverance, hard work, and dedication meets, success happens.
At Elevate, we have a variety of programs to fit our clients' personal needs, such as intensive outpatient, outpatient, and the aftercare program.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, give us a call. Elevate. Do more than recover. Leave a legacy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I agree with that though. Like me and Ronnie talk about like this I don't want to say like self-pity mode, but this like I'm not good enough, and so like I'm gonna push myself to achieve more and more and more. And I mean, I know I'm gonna speak for myself. Anybody else can tag in, but like I think I find a pretty good balance with it. Like there's moments where like I'm driving myself too hard.
Yeah.
But I agree with that. Like sometimes there's just this like internal desire to like, you know, want to achieve things, and then of course, like you said, like you bring kids into the situation, it adds a whole because the little suckers are expensive.
yeah,
Super expensive.
And he got 2 girls.
Ooh.
I don't know. After talking to Willis and him telling me how much helmets are worth these days, I'm like, baby, we're gonna do a tea party. That's right. We're gonna do a tea party whenever you want. Just don't play football. We're good.
He's girl dad.
All right. No, like, so like I think I don't know. I always do that, but I don't think every man, but I don't know. It's also like you gotta like want to see what you're made of. I step at the gym each morning at like 6 o'clock because I want to see what I'm made of. I want to push something heavy. It's just like, you know, and I think part of that might be because I sit in the office every day. You know, I'm sure a guy who's swinging a sledgehammer don't think about going to the gym having to find out what he's made of. But I got to get some physical exertion out of me, and it's you know, I've always had a hard time with like realizing that other people are not competition. Like we could be friends, but at a certain point, I'm like, oh, you trying to compete? Ooh,
especially in the field that we in too, we get that a lot where everything's a competition. Man, we all just trying to help people. That's it. Ain't no competition.
I think that's better today than it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, somebody asked me about Baton Rouge recovery. I'm like, oh, treatment center gangland.
Yeah, 100%.
They're on sets up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
What side you rocking with?
And look, you know, I feel like that's one of the cool things about the transformation that like our generation is I guess, or not even our generation, but like our group or age group of people that are entering this industry has offered to it. Like there's a lot more collaboration. I don't think it's where it needs to be. Like if you look at other communities, like they are the epitome of working together. Like they don't even want to treat somebody more than once. Here it's like
I'm keeping you here no matter if we're beneficial or not. You staying in here.
Yeah. And so
I think a lot of it's like fear-based and familiarity.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I got a chip on my shoulder for people that, you know, and I know it's not, no one person has the ability to fix another person's problem.
Absolutely.
You know, each person has to make that decision, and I think a lot of it's timing on their own. But like I have people that I have a deep relationship with that are loaded right now and call me and we'll talk like friends. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, I want to get you sober.
Yeah.
I really want to. I'm gonna respect you enough that we're gonna do it on your time. I'm not gonna co-sign it, and so if they call me, of course I'm gonna suggest them come to me. Because I got to tell you, I know a lot of places do a lot of things well, but I'm still gonna think I'm the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's why you get compensated the way you talk about that, though, but you know, yeah.
Ronnie's still bitter because he left me.
Oh my God, Corey, what you heard?
Man, I heard you left.
Oh, I get it. Y'all doing that thing,
I mean,
right?
My heart was broken before we even got to know each other.
You know what side of the bread is buttered on. I get it, bro. I respect that.
Dude, no, the thing about it is, a couple of people who were close to me, I told them, I was like, yeah, I'm, you know, I ain't broadcasting. I'm going over to Elevate. And they're like, bro, you gonna love Ronnie. Ronnie's the GOAT. And they were just, people love you.
Everybody loved me except the person that had to cut the check, huh? That's the only one that mattered. Huh?
We're not going to do this.
No,
we do this every episode.
You started.
We do this every episode.
I was sitting here minding my black business. And you got the poke at me.
Look, so another thing that's like a pretty big topic that we talk about is like once you're sober, like the mental health aspect of like sobriety. Like Ronnie makes reference to it. I make reference to it, like going through things in life. And so like one of the things that I admire about you, and we've talked about this before, is like, from the outside, everybody's always got their perception. Like, they'll see me and they're like, "Oh, Michael's got the easy life," or Ronnie, and man, he's got an easy life, or Corey. But like, we internally know that like we go through things. But from like my outside, like, I know you go through stuff. But one of the cool things that I think of, that like, I guess I'm inspired or whatever, give you your flowers for, as the kids say these days, is your ability to like keep an even kill whenever you are going through things. Like, what do you attribute that to? Like, what kind of work to not let, the highs make you too high, the lows make you too low, kind of mental health work, if that makes sense.
So you're asking what do I do to stay in that place? Or
yeah, I guess in sense, just because, I mean, I think it's impressive because I can ride a roller coaster sometimes. I mean, our joke at the office, I got custody thing with my kids and stuff, and like, so like 1 week I have both kids full time, and I come in and I'm like beat, and Corey comes in just ready to fuck with me, dude.
Oh yeah.
And so like I'll ride that road, but I mean, you're kind of keep that even kill even when shit's going on in life.
I don't know, man. It's like eventually, no matter what's going on, like, and this is, I don't know, it's another one of those things. I don't know where it came from, but I got a voice in there that says we're gonna win, bro.
Yeah,
we're gonna win.
That's that Ville in you. Shout out to Ville. You know what I'm saying?
No, but it's like, well, no matter what's going on, I have this feeling, and sometimes it takes me to a second to remind myself or be reminded of it or bring it back. But it's like, I'm gonna win.
I like
no
that.
What you hit me
That
with,
Lions mentality.
But as far as like, internal processing and stuff like that, man, I will like, I'm a dig into my own mind. I don't know if it was just the way my brain always was, but I always feel like whatever I think I'm going through is a distraction for something that I'm really going through. And so,
that was deep.
So if I'm irritated with Ronnie, it's rarely because of something Ronnie did. It's usually something I brought in.
I mean, it's probably something Ronnie did.
I mean, 8 times out of 10, but he talking about the other 2 times, so I'm listening. Yeah.
Ronnie, what's your girlfriend's name? Fiance?
Kayla.
Can't say girlfriend. I'm not allowed to say girlfriend. You trying to mess her? I love you, baby. I said fiance. He said girlfriend.
I got so thrown off, I forgot what I was even gonna say. But no, it's like looking within yourself and saying, okay, like what is the reason this is irritating me? What is the reason? What is really going on that I can like control? Because me worried about somebody else and what they're doing, bro, that ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah. So it's also it's almost like you do like on the spot inventory on yourself.
Yeah.
You kind of got the different sections. Like you got this fear, but it's really stemming from this.
Well, yeah, it's like at the root of all, resentment is either a fear, in my opinion, or a core belief that's been contradicted.
So how do you get to the point where you can do that on the spot? Because I still fuck shit up.
So my first couple of years, I really sucked at doing a 10-step, and my mentors, teachers at the times were big proponents of doing that regular 10-step, and I would do a 4-step and do some inventory, and I'd go 3 months, and things would build up, resentments and fears and all this, and then I would get to a point where I'm losing it up here, and I'd have to do another inventory, and from all that, I've been taken to a place where I'm willing to just look at it in the moment.
Right.
Wayne said repetition is the father of learning.
Shout out Wayne, the GOAT. And so real quick for our listeners and subscribers that's not familiar with the 4th step, 10th step inventory, kind of just briefly, like what's a 10-step inventory?
So a 10-step is looking within yourself to see what internally is going on that is put me in a position to be disturbed by something externally.
And so anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. Right.
Anybody. That's not a recommendation. I would, I went and spoke for a Overeaters Anonymous fellowship in Shreveport. A bunch of women that worked the same 12 steps. Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, all these different fellowships work. It's crazy that they found one solution to a whole bunch of problems.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's an internal problem. It's
right.
And so, just always trying to look within myself and seeing like, okay, what I think in the 12 and 12 it talks about a spiritual axiom that it's a spiritual axiom is a spiritual truth. Every time I'm disturbed, no matter what the cause, there's something wrong with me. There's something going on, whether it's an insecurity.
So in other words, it's always your fault, ladies and gentlemen. It's never nobody else's fault.
Hey.
Especially if you're a man. in a
man, we get it the
relationship.
worst. And, we talk about all the time like being vulnerable and communicating as a man. And so, are those things that you see you do? Do you? Yeah,
if you ask me and you ask my wife, you're gonna get two different answers. My wife's gonna tell you, can't get this guy to talk. No, I have my moments where I think I do well, and I have my moments where I don't think I do too well. It's definitely been probably more than anything else in my life what I focused on trying to improve on, just out of like consideration. Because, and I think I say that with my wife in mind because I know how much she has on her plate on a daily basis, and she ain't no slacker. She killing the game on all courts as well, and so it's like, okay, you got all these things that you're juggling and taking care of, and it's like, okay, at least I could like try to communicate because
we talk about that a lot. I mean, especially just men and all in all areas of the world or all areas of this country. I'm not gonna speak for the world, but like growing up, and I can only imagine in a small town. I'm imagining it's probably like a little country town.
What made you think that?
the fact that they don't have a judge. Population of 10, 8 of them are Woodsons that run the damn town. But look, he didn't want to tell you. I'm just playing with this, but he didn't want to tell you. The judge, the dentist, the lawyer. That's his.
That's his people. That's all one person in his family.
But like, but we're taught like, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and then especially for us as men who come into recovery and just men in general who like strive to be more rounded individuals, like at some point they're going to do that internal work. But like that, I find that to be like one of the hardest things for men coming into early recovery is like, we're telling you that your whole life, your daddy or the male figure, or even if you don't have a male figure, society has told you you're a man. You're not supposed to talk about this. You're supposed to pick yourself up and dust yourself off. And then now we got counselors and treatment or whatever it may be saying, all right, well, let's dig.
Yeah.
And we're like,
it's
what?
okay to cry.
What?
In public.
Is it?
In front of other men.
I do. I like a good cry.
So real quick, we got to ask the listeners. For $1 billion.
No, we're not. No. No.
We don't want to go down there.
Cancel culture is real, Ronnie.
All right, I was
Cancel culture is real.
I was about to cry, so I had to deflect and make a joke because I be thinking about all the stuff I went through in life. So that was my deflection.
So with the improvement, right? I'm not gonna say you're good at it. I don't think any of us are good at it. But with the improvement of trying to be more communicative, I don't even know if that's a word.
It's one now. It's
we make our own words.
Our own stuff. Yeah,
with trying to be more communicative, I'm gonna use it again. How do you find the inspiration or whatever it may be, the insight to be like, okay, I'm not there, or this is a moment where I need to do that? Like, is it just normally like a kick in the ass from your wife, or?
No, it's just, man, it's like sheer impulse on both sides. Like, when a problem pops up, my brain isn't one that, man, I got to call X, Y, and Z and I'll tell them about it.
Yeah.
My brain says, man, the world's on your shoulders, handle it.
Yeah.
And even if I'm the least qualified person to handle it, I'm still going to, just. And so whenever it comes to talking, like yesterday, I had a situation where something popped up, and thank God in the moment, my brain was like, hey, your wife's your partner on this.
Yeah.
Call her first and foremost. Let her know what's going on.
You didn't call me first? I thought he called me first.
I might have.
Every time I call, he forwarded mine.
Who?
I hope you get more luck than me.
Who?
Higher. I ain't never.
Wait.
No, I'm talking about this one.
That one?
You always.
I can't vouch for him.
Whoa.
Wait, Corey was speaking.
Yeah, we're talking.
Corey was speaking.
This mother lover here.
Corey was speaking. All right, Corey, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's literally impulse. In the moment, it's either I'm already stuck in go mode and I'm about to handle this, or try to overthink it till it's handled itself. I can do that as well. Or it's, hey, let me call her. Let me put her in the loop, because she support me in anything.
What do you find, like, because this is something that we hadn't talked about yet, but I think it's cool that it's kind of drifted. Like, how do you find the impact of having a supportive partner in your life your wife, like what do you find that's done for your life? Because I mean, the old saying is what behind every great man's an even greater woman.
Oh yeah, no, I truly believe that.
That's so true.
Like a man can't even reach his full potential without like the right woman.
Yeah,
man, I gotta tell a story real quick, and
I love story time.
I've told you.
I
this
love story time.
I've never told you this story before, but I'm gonna get vulnerable, right? And I'm gonna talk about this. So behind every great man is a great woman. But when I first got sober, I got with Kayla, and you know, my life was in turmoil, right?
Yeah.
Man, this lady held me down all the way up until a year ago. She was the breadwinner of the household.
Right.
She was the one making sure that, like, financially we was taken care of so that I could chase my dreams, become a better man, become stable, like, become emotionally sound, and, like, put everything she ever wanted to do on the back burner just to do that. And I don't give her enough credit for that. Baby, I love you for that. So, yes, I do believe behind every great man is a greater woman because she held it down for 4 years and didn't complain once, bro.
Right.
Like, once at all. So I was like, that's dope. And then that's when I knew that was going to be my wife, and we was going to fall in love and live happily ever after and all that good stuff.
Shout out.
Shout out, Kayla.
Shout out to all
Shout
the
out,
strong
Kayla.
women out there, man. Y'all don't get enough credit. We love y'all here on
Little
Built by
hard
Red
heads.
Stick.
I'm gonna find me one of them.
Yo.
Right now I got Paula.
Hey, Mama Paula, the truth.
Mama,
Hey, you know that's the only woman that's between the ages of 35 and 40 that I'm scared of.
Hey, I would be.
I'm scared of Miss Paula.
She got that twinkle.
She got that, and then she had to raise him.
I'm like, oh, hey, Miss Pop.
Oh, yeah, she got that thing about her.
Yeah, look. I recognize like truly being blessed with like the family that you know, and I know we've talked about it before because your mom and like
G-Mo.
Yeah, you know.
Papa, they put up with some stuff.
I think all of our parents
They
have.
spoiled me so right, and I love y'all to death for that though. But y'all did spoil me. I'm still spoiled.
So you know, good woman. What I always ask this question just because I find it intriguing to answer and look inside myself for it. Like your why, right? Like I know you. So you got the Burrow house, which is your sober living house. I think you got 2 of them. And I know you do like really good work with the guys you hold them accountable, you challenge them to grow. You run groups at Elevate. You have a lot. I mean, it's not a secret. Like there's a lot of people in especially the Baton Rouge area that you've impacted their life, right? And so like for everything that you could have been and everything that you could have done, what is your why? Like why the passion? Why because I'm gonna assume behind my assholism to people, we've talked about it on the show, is my desire to see them great, right? Like it might not work for everybody, but that's the approach that worked on me. Everybody's talked about I was a coachable kid, right? I came from athletics, coach, yelled at you when you messed up. So like, I know that's kind of you're way more rounded than me. I'm just an asshole sometimes, but you got like the asshole, like.
You gotta talk about my belly, bro. So rounded.
Don't worry about it. Shout out to the chubby boys. Bro. I'm with you, dog.
Big
Chubby?
Huh?
Big
Chubby?
Oh, I thought we was talking about the past. Forgive me.
So, your why, like, right? Like, why do what you do? Why? Because, like I said, I know there's plenty of other things you could be doing in life.
Well, so I got kind of like, as I said earlier, like talked into coming into this field, and man, it is.
You stayed in it.
I know it. I did. I stayed in it because
You flourished.
Well, you flourish and you like build connections, and once again, I can't. I've wanted to leave it so many times. I remember in the middle of COVID, my collectibles business was booming. Thank God my wife has way more sense than me because she's like, you're not quitting your job that you get a consistent paycheck on to go work for yourself selling trading cards. And I'm like, baby, you don't understand. I lose money whenever I go to work right now.
I'm killing it.
Because at a point, it was booming, and I wanted to leave. But then at the same time, like, I've been to the treatment center where Miss Jennifer's there, and Miss Jennifer, ain't never drank herself into oblivion, but she got a cousin.
Yeah.
And and she cares. She wants to help. She really wants to help. But there's a language we speak, bro.
Yeah.
There's a language that me and you speak that other people hear and say, roll up the window. It's just something that other people can't grasp. Like, why does my brain work the way it does? Man, I don't know why it works the way it does, but I know how to
get
right,
it.
Right.
And I've dove into a bunch of the reasons why the brain works the way it does, but at the same time, it's half those the information I tried together, I look back on as a waste of time. What is it really?
We talk about it on previous episodes, but so many people always want to ask why the jackass is in the ditch instead of how to get the jackass out the ditch.
Right. Well, it's control. Like, I want to know why I'm here. Well, that's not gonna get you out.
Yeah.
And it's but yeah, that's the ability to help somebody be useful. It's kind of like I guess you want to talk about life's fair. Life's not fair. I should have got far worse than what I got. That's not. I'm not gonna say that's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing, but it's if you're in recovery, you honestly get an opportunity that most people never get in their life. You get the potential to live 2 lives in one.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There are people that are miserable and are going to be stuck until the last breath on this earth.
Preach.
You get to go to a treatment center to invest in yourself.
Preach.
Hit a reset button and say, okay,
and dude, look,
what's not working, what is?
If most of the people I know who've found their way into a treatment center because of drugs or alcohol, that first life was wild.
Right.
So, there were some shitty points. Yeah, look, there were some pretty wild ones, too.
No, absolutely.
Wish we had more time to talk about the wild times.
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know about yours.
Huh? I'm innocent.
Yeah, okay.
I'm innocent. What do you mean?
The dude
What's that
started.
face about?
Dude started to talk with. Do you like feet?
That was the people. The people.
People wanted to know.
I'm telling you, would I lie to you?
No, I don't believe you would.
I wasn't the used car salesman. We all know what's the stereotype about them. Hey, we want to thank you, Corey, bro, again, bro, from the bottom of our heart for coming on, sharing this space with us, sharing this experience. Our people, our likes, we need them. Our shares, we need them. Our subscribers, we love you. Future subscribers, we love you. And we want to thank y'all for being with us with another episode of Built by the Red Stick. And as always, catch us back at the same time, at the same place, with the same producer. Built by adversity, led by courage.
Peace out.